So here's my trouble. I asked the user how many numbers. I made an array for them for however many that was, and then I printed out the array. But when I printed out, I got this kind of weird thing here. What is this? Well, this @ sign is telling me that I'm at a memory address, and then it gives me a number, which is just a location in memory where all of that array is going to live. It doesn't actually give me the numbers in the array, if there even are any at this point. Does it initialize down to 0? What's in there? We don't know. But when I print out this random nums is just a memory address that specifies where this stuff is living. Let me get a little more specific. So random nums is a memory address. If I want to get the first item actually in that array at that memory address, I can say sub0, and this is the word I use when I see the square brackets. I say random nums sub0. This means print out the sub0 would print out the first number in the array. I haven't set it to anything, so I'm actually really not sure if Java is going to be undefined, or if it's going to be 0, or if it's going to give me an error, or what's going to happen. So, let's throw caution to the wind and see what happens. 3 integers. It is 0. Okay, that was lucky. In some languages, you do not get that lucky. Well, if this is how I print out, then I should be able to store something in random num sub0 also. Does that work? Let's see. It's a number, some integer, 3455. Okay, and then I'll print it out on the next line. Let's say I want 5 of them. Yes, okay, it's printing out the one at position 0. Well, that's really cool. So I can use this as if it's a regular int, because it is, and I can put values in it just like that. I can put math in it. Whatever I can do with a normal integer variable, I can do with the integer that's in slot 0 of my whole array events. So that's cool. Well, in that case, why don't I go through the whole array one by one and put a random number in each one of those spots in random nums. Now I'm gonna use this here, or maybe I'll leave that down there and instead come up here and do it, but use that as a guide. I know how to do that with a for loop. I start at 0, I go 1 less than the length, and I know the length because the user told me how many they wanted, and then I go up by 1 every time. Okay, using this line 66 as a guide, oh, just lost my pen, there it is. Using line 66 as a guide, let me copy that and paste it in here. I don't want to always set the one at position 0. I want to set the one at position 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. Well, that is I. That's what I is doing. It's counting up by 1 every time. So I can put an I in there to make it a little more generic. So I get 0 the first time, 1 the second time through the loop, 2 the third time through the loop, and so forth until I get up to how many numbers minus 1, which is the last item. Here I have a random object. Oh, let's just get it going here. Rand.next int. What's my range? I don't know. Maybe we'll do I don't know, single digits. So numbers 0 through 9. And then I'll just see what I get in that first slot. Okay. Five. Okay, so the first number turned out to be 7. That's neat. I would prefer to see the whole array. And actually, I know how to loop through here, so now I'm back to my first original thought, which was, why don't I just write a loop to go through the whole array and print each one, and then I'd be able to see what kind of random numbers are in there. So I'll do some copying and pasting to get my loop in gear. And then instead of setting it equal to something, let's print the thing. Cut that, paste here, and then let's take random nums of I instead. This will print them all on each on their own line, but that's okay with me. I can live with that for now. We can massage the output later. At least now I'll be able to see what numbers I got in each slot. Let's give it a try. How many random numbers? How about 10? There they are. Wow. I could get each one of them individually, and now that means that I have access to those inside the random nums array for the whole time I'm in the main method. I can do math with them, I can print them out, I can change them. That's super cool. In the next video, we'll see an alternative to so much looping for printing.